Well, rather surprisingly today, I'm out of bed. I've come downstairs because I think that I have a few things to do, a few ends to tidy up. And although I've got my MacBook upstairs, on my laptop downstairs I've got all my letters and my funeral plan and all those bits and pieces that need doing. So I thought, do you know what? Get up. I didn't have the best night because I forgot to change my fentanyl patch. So it's due every 3 days and it produces 50 micrograms every hour, which I think is amazing from a little tiny piece of what looks like sellotape with some green writing on it. I was supposed to change it Wednesday morning. I forgot. So Thursday evening I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I can't stand the pain anymore, please don't let me be back where I was. And then I thought, I wonder. So yeah, patch was due for renewal. So after a hot, sweaty fentanyl night, my pain is now in a much better place. And so am I. So I thought, let's get everything else organised. So I've been twitching around with my funeral plan. I noticed that the one that I originally started with and saved was very sketchy. So I've gone for something much more foolproof. I've spelt out the web addresses of where to buy my pink coffin, and I've spelt out the funeral director's information, the songs, hints of songs that I'd like, because I don't want to obviously control my own funeral too much, and a hymn that I'd like or two as part of my full requiem. I've even said what incense I'd like, but obviously these are just guidelines, and I know that I can't actually control any of it unless I start sending thunderbolts down from heaven, which is a maybe, so do be warned if you're coming. Everyone's welcome to my funeral. Please come and sign my coffin. I'd love as many people, even people that I've had lots of correspondence with but never actually hugged them in real life. Please feel free to come and sign. The idea is to have a black Sharpie pen and you sign on my pink coffin like a farewell card. And I guess you can do it at the chapel of rest or at the funeral or wherever. The little controlling-y bit on my funeral plan is the type of flowers I'd like. Now, I love flowers, so I'm like, bring on the flowers. But there are one or two flowers that I'm not over keen on, like carnations. So I've kind of got a like and a don't like list. That doesn't mean that all flowers are not welcome. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? But, anyway, flowers. So what else is on my list? Readings. Who wants to do a reading? I've put a couple of suggestions down. So that's that one. Then I've done some other letters. Letters that are hard to write, but I think needed to be done because my friend Sharon passed away earlier this year. And one of the things we talked about was writing our letters and tidying up loose ends. I know that she never got around to doing all the letter writing that she wanted because there was always going to be tomorrow. And I think I know now there isn't always going to be a tomorrow. After hearing that Rebecca passed away this week, a young lady who I was seen at the hospice and who I was in a friend's chat group with and also knew from forums, who I found quite inspiring the way she tackled it. She passed away and it felt so sudden because I only saw her last week when I was at the hospice. So it kind of shook me into getting on and doing the things that need to be done. Because tomorrow isn't promised to me or anyone. And, although I'm feeling better, antibiotics are finished. I seem to have gone for flush face look, which I don't know where that came from. Being out of bed is good and being downstairs is good, but reality is just sort of dangling away in the background somewhere. So I've written a few other bits and pieces. I've got a couple of letters left to write, I think, and then obviously I've got to confirm my publication date for my book, which is the 1st of August, which is also hubby's birthday. I have carried on writing a few articles, but I haven't really pushed on with the writing for a while. My blog I'm continuing with. I love to write And we'll continue with that, even though it's not been as regular as it used to be. So it just feels like today is a day of tidying up. And I think today's just been a real wake-up call. Like, what do I need to do to give myself peace of mind? And then there's that other little niggle that says, if you haven't got peace of mind, so you know there's still things to be done, does it keep you going? Well, I think I've got the positivity vibe, and the get up every morning and have a shower, get dressed, go back to bed, get up again vibe. I think I've got the, I can keep going feeling. I'm going to live forever, even though they've told me I won't. And all those things that are ridiculous and are not ridiculous. And, you know, like I've got a numb bit of my leg where I can touch my leg and I can't actually feel it. You know, like when you get anaesthetic at the dentist and you could dig your nails in your gum and you can't feel it, but just pressure. Well, I've got a bit of leg like that. And that's a bit worrying. But, you know, I've got cancer, you know. I'm going to have all these niggles and bits and pieces going on and stuff. So, and I can't be running off somewhere every 5 minutes because something else hurts or something else is wrong. So I'm trying to get my affairs in order day to day. I need to sign the will because the wills have been redone, but I haven't physically made myself get down to the solicitors and get it finished. So that must be done next week. Of course, assuming that I have next week. Sunday coming is a goal for me, which is the 17th of June. So not only 1706 my cemetery plot, but 1706 my son Simon's birthday. If Simon was still alive today, he would have been 29. Which is just... because he was 18 when he died, and it was also unexpected. To imagine him at 29, it's hard. I think about him every day. And you try to picture him as the family, as my family growing up, and, you know, my number one son's 33 and my daughter's 19 and Simon's in the middle, and imagining all three of them as a family, you know, and imagining Simon with children. All these things go through your mind. And then I think, now I'm planning my departure from the world. People can imagine what I would have been doing now, or what was next, or do we look backwards when someone's older and they die? Because if someone's young, we look forwards. When they're older, if we look back about, oh, do you remember when Mum did this? Or when she was a child? Or my sister and my brother maybe remembering me as a child or a teenager? Or, you know, does all that go with us? Or does it stay behind? Are we a memory or a reality? Am I here in the room? Or am I here in the mind and not now, not in the present? Will I always be in the past? It's a really difficult one to think about, isn't it? Do I think of my parents in the past or now? Do I think of Simon in the past or now? I've just said I think of him as both. But is that because he was young? How far in the future do I think my parents? Well, my dad was 86. How far in the future can you possibly think of someone? So this dying thing sort of goes around in your head a bit, and it's absolutely not morbid at all, because I really don't have a problem with, you know, my last days. But it's very interesting to think about how you'll be remembered. And I'm hoping Pink Coffin, I'm hoping writing. I'd like to think, you know, just being me to be remembered for. And the fact that I will still be around on my haunting stick, darting around, looking for trouble. So hopefully the rest of this day could be good. I could get all these boxes ticked off. Let's see.